my name is Katie, welcome back and thank you for joining me for class 4 of your complete yoga experience. So as you may have noticed from the first few classes, they're all going to be different, but I'm going to try and add some of the similar postures into the classes throughout so you can really get a good understanding and familiarise yourself with them so that you can progress, grow, build strength and build that flexibility that we need to get a more advanced practice. So without further ado, we're going to lay down on our backs. So just get nice and comfy, any which way at all that you want to lay down. You can have your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, or you can put your soles of your feet together, have the knees flopping open to the side, or have your legs outstretched. So try a few different positions and then just get nice and comfy, however you'd like to be. And then we're going to take our left hand to our heart, right hand to our belly, and we're just going to start to bring that attention to the breath. So we're going to inhale and exhale through the nose. So we're going to inhale and exhale. As you inhale, feel your chest rise, feel your belly fill up with air. And exhale, feel the belly come down and the ribs collapse down as well. Just a few more of those, nice inhales and exhales in your own time. Feeling the breath move through the body. Letting go of anything that's been on your mind. Bringing yourself into the present moment. Just you, your body, and your breath. We can even start with these deep, clearing breaths. Start feeling some sort of core engagement happening. So as we're inhaling and we're feeling our body expand, we exhale. See if you can slightly start to contract the core underneath your right hand. Just bring that awareness to your core muscles. And inhale again. And exhale. Very good. Then one at a time, pull your knees in towards your chest. Give them a nice tight squeeze. Range of motion isn't important at all. It's just you feeling that nice stretch on the hips and on the glutes. You can keep pulling them in one at a time, or if you'd like, you can take both legs together and just pull them in towards the body, feeling that nice squeeze, and also feeling your lower back pushing in towards the mat. It's a really, really nice feeling. And then feet come back down, and then we're going to lay our left leg down the mat, flat, and then we're going to try and bring our right leg up straight. So your leg might not get completely straight, and that's absolutely fine. It can just be bent like this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same sort of thing as we did with the pulling our knee in. We're going to try and do it with the leg just as straight as possible. So if your leg is very, very bent and you can only get it to here, that's fine, but do just try and straighten that leg out as much as you can. And then with a nice deep breath in through the nose, exhale through the nose. See if you can pull that leg in towards your body. Feel a lovely stretch down your hamstring. So just hold that for a few nice deep breaths. Again with this one, as we exhale and we pull our leg in, we can maybe find that core engagement as well. See if we can just bring that awareness to the core. And then release. Slowly let that leg come down, straighten it out, and then do the same with the other leg. So we bring it in. I say any sort of range of motion is fine. If your leg's all the way back here and very bent, that's absolutely fine. Or if it's a lot straighter and a lot closer to your chest, that's great as well. So again, we just focus on the breath. Inhale through the nose, feel the chest expand, and then exhale, we feel that core engagement a little bit as we start to pull that leg in. inhale, release off a little bit. And exhale, pull it back in. Just a few nice deep breaths. This is a sort of stretch that's quite nice to do with your eyes closed. Just helps you visualize the muscles a little bit more clearly. That you really feel the stretch. And then release that back down. Walk both feet in, and then we're going to do our bridge lifts. So we're going to try and, as I said before, graze your heels with your fingertips, that sort of distance. So it doesn't matter too much, and feet should be around hip distance apart. So for me, I know if I can tap my toes together, then they're around hip distance apart, so that's fine. So get yourself in a nice position. If you want to change position midway through, then shuffle your feet forward, backwards, side to side, whatever makes it more comfortable for you, but generally that's a good position to do our bridge lifts. And then again, we're going to try and do that really, really focused movement. So we pick up the very, very tip of the tailbone. So we engage the glutes, and that helps us pick up the very, very tip of the tailbone, but all of the other vertebrae of the spine now are pushing against the mat and getting nice, good contact with the mat. So we inhale to prepare, and then we exhale, roll. See if you can bring one vertebra of the spine up at a time. And then we inhale at the top. And then reverse it. So up and back finds the floor, then your mid back, then your lower back. Your glutes are still engaged, and then at the very last moment, you release the glutes and the tailbone comes down. So just like that, nice, slow, controlled movements. We can engage the core, draw that in, engage our glutes, pick up the very, very tip of the tailbone, deep breath in, and then exhale, roll. Lower back comes off the floor, then your mid back, and then your upper back. Big deep breath in, and then reverse it, upper back, slowly, slowly, lower back, and then mid back, come down. We'll just do a couple more of those. Again, engage the glutes, pick up the very tip of the tailbone, inhale, and exhale. Inhale at the top, and exhale all the way back down. And then last one, engage the glutes, pick up the tailbone, engage the core, really push, try and think about pushing your belly button into the mat behind you. Try and get that really like deep, focused, strengthening action. And then we inhale to prepare, and exhale, roll. One vertebra of the spine at a time, all the way up. Then push your hips up at the top. Nice deep breath in. See if you can maybe snuggle your shoulders under a little bit. Push those hips up even higher. And then exhale. Upper back finds the floor. Then your mid back. Then your lower back. And eventually your tailbone. Very nice. And then one leg at a time, or both. Bring your knees in towards the chest. Stretch out those glutes. If you're doing those slow, controlled movements, no matter how advanced you are, you're going to start to feel it in the glutes with those slow rolls. So stretch out your glutes, bringing your knees in towards the chest. And then from here, we're going to reach our arms out to either side. So you're making a T shape with your arms. So stretch them just straight out to the sides. And then we're going to try and bring our knees up, reverse tabletop. And then we're going to just slowly take a big deep breath in, and then as slow as we can, see if we can roll both knees over towards the right. And then your gaze can either be up ahead, or if it's comfortable for your neck and you've got enough range of motion, you can look over to the opposite side. So this is a beautiful stretch all down your side body. Feels really, really nice on the hips as well. And then gaze back up to the ceiling. Bring your knees back up. Big deep breath in. And slowly, slowly, using that core strength, that core engagement, lower your knees down towards the left. Just get your block out the way. You can use a block for this pose as well, as you said in the beginning, but if you can't, if it's not very comfortable to get your knees all the way down, you can rest your knees on a block, you can rest them on a pillow, rolled up towel, anything like that. Make the pose work for you, make it so it's at your level and you can stay feeling really, really good and feeling really, really comfortable. There's so many benefits to yoga. Your whole body will be strengthened, it will feel great, you'll be flexible, all of your activities will be more comfortable, but you're not going to stick with a practice if you don't enjoy it. So make it work for you, make sure you stay comfortable, happy, and it's something you want to do. This is a treat for your body. Every single yoga practice I do, I'm grateful for, I enjoy, it's the thing I do for myself, and it makes my body feel amazing, and that's why I really just want to share it with you. Inhale, and then we're going to exhale, bring the knees back in, and then give them a nice tight squeeze. Rocking side to side, massaging that lower back. And then when you're ready, any which way at all, we're going to try and roll over onto our tummies. So you can just roll onto your hip, push yourself up, any way at all that you want to come up, and then we're going to come and take a seat. So any comfortable seated position, like I've said before, we've got Sukhasana, easy seated pose. You can sit on your block if you want to, get a little bit of height. If you don't have the flexibility in your glutes and your legs, it might be more comfortable for you to sit on a block because you can get a nice straight spine this way. Otherwise, you can have your legs bent in front of you, outstretched, or if you'd like to get a bit more of a stretch, you can, if you've got the flexibility, come into half lotus or full lotus with the legs. So it's entirely up to you. And we're just going to take a few nice deep breaths here in the seated position. Again, focusing on that, feeling the chest rise and fall, and then with our exhale, see if we can feel that core start to engage. Very good, and now we're going to roll over onto our tummies. So we're going to roll over here and we're going to come into a few back bends. So we're going to come into Sphinx pose first of all. So Sphinx pose, we have our heels pulling together. We have our shoulders and our chest all square towards the mat, hands straight out in front of you. And then we're going to try and, if we can, look up, look straight ahead. If that's not comfortable for your back, for your neck, then you can stay looking down. Just try to gently ease your gaze upwards, and then slowly you will gain that flexibility in your neck, your chest and your back. So a few nice deep breaths here. So your tummy probably won't come off the floor, but you want to try and think about engaging the core in this position as well. So you want to try and pull your tummy away from the floor, even though it's not actually really going to be moving. It just, again, gets that core engagement, and it makes your body that much stronger and get that much more awareness and engagement from the pose. And then we're going to lay our arms down, and we're just going to come and lay on our arms and wiggle your hips side to side. Take any tension out of the lower back. And then we're going to do the same sort of pose, we're going to deepen it slightly. So we're going to come into a baby cobra. So baby cobra, Sphinx, we've got our shoulders directly over our elbows. In baby cobra, we're just going to walk our hands slightly closer, so they're not underneath our shoulders, but kind of somewhere halfway in between. And then we're going to lift up. See if we can get a deeper back bend, looking forward or looking down. And then we come back down again. So we're going to start to do a few movements with the breath. So we inhale, look forwards, exhale, come down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, and last time, inhale up, and exhale down. Again, get yourself nice and comfy on the mat, wiggle your hips side to side, release any tension that might have built up in the lower back. Back bends are quite unnatural unless you're practicing something like yoga, where you're normally in that hunched over position, so it can be quite a strange feeling for you when you start doing your back bends for the first time. And then we're going to come back and we're going to counter those back bends with a nice relaxing child's pose. So child's pose again, knees wide, toes together. You can reach your hands forward or you can have them beside you, and we're just going to sit back. Again, if you don't have the flexibility to sit all the way back on your heels, you can put a block there, you can put a towel, pillow, anything at all to let you sink into that position and feel really, really nice and grounded. And again, a few nice deep breaths. You should feel that lower back decompress. A lot of people say they feel taller when they start practicing like yoga because their spine is all stretched one way and then the other, and then it lengthens your whole body. It feels good. And then from that, I'm going to try and come into a forward fold. So any which way at all, on your hands and knees, see if we can step up nice and slowly and gently, feet just slightly wider than hip distance, bend in the knees, and then grabbing opposite elbows, release the back of the neck, and just come into your forward fold. Your ragdoll, rolling side to side. You can shake the head no, you can shake the head yes. Try and release the lower, the neck and the upper back. And then when you're ready, we're going to, one vertebra of the spine at a time, roll all the way up to standing. And then we're going to come into some crescent lunge. So we're going to stand at the top of the mat and we're going to come into crescent. So crescent is quite a deep stretch, but we're going to start slow and we're going to build up. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to pick up our left heel and we're going to try and put our weight in our right foot, try and get that grounding and that balance. And then we're going to step back as far as is comfortable for us into crescent. So in crescent, the key things we want to remember are that we got our hips square towards the front of the mat. Our knee is over our ankle of the front foot, and our back heel is off the floor and our back knee is energized upwards. So if you think about energy moving out of the body, we have got this leg, it's not bent, it's straight as much as we can. So energy is shooting out the back of that knee. And then we have our hands on our hips and we're just going to hold and breathe. And then step forwards, shake out the legs, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we ground into the left foot, stand up nice and tall, shoulders down away from the ears, neck long, hips square towards the front of your mat, or your towel, whatever you're practicing on. And then we pick up the right heel and then step back as far as is comfortable for you. And we find our crescent. So often when we step into a pose or come into a pose, the body will naturally adjust a little bit. So it's absolutely fine. Glance at your body, move it into position, have a look at your knee, where is it? It's a lot of awareness to hold the poses in yoga, and it's a lot of muscle memory. So if you don't have that muscle memory at the moment where your body's landing in position, grab hold of your body, pull it where it's supposed to be, keep glancing down, having a look. And then once you feel that you've got that engagement and you're holding the pose as you would like it to be, That's when we can bring our focus back to the breath, maybe gaze forwards, and take a few nice deep breaths. And then step forwards. And again, we'll shake it out. And we'll just do that one more time on each leg. So again, we'll find our mountain pose first of all. So once you've been moving around a little bit, it's easy to kind of lose your focus and your center. So we'll stand in mountain pose, shoulders down away from the ears, core engaged. So we're just gently, not crunching our core as such, just kind of, if we think about there's a little string from our belly button to our lower back, we're just trying to pull that string to tighten it a little bit. Just bring us that awareness and that strength. It also keeps your whole body safe. Your core can be really, really helpful at supporting your lower back, everything really. So if you keep that core engagement kind of on a little bit at a time, it'll really help with your whole health of your body. So keep that core engaged, tailbone tucks under slightly, energy coming up through the feet, through the legs, hands at the heart. And then when we're ready, we pick up the left heel, and then in your own time, step back into crescent. So again, take a look down, make sure the knee is over the heel. I'm going to step back a little bit because my knee was creeping forward towards my toes. I want it over my heel. And then have a look at my hips. Pulling my left hip forward. So typically your hips want to open. So with crescent pose, whatever leg is in front, you want to pull the opposite hip forward. And that should help square your hips. So stand nice and tall, chest open. And then step back forwards. Again, shake out the legs. We'll do the same on the other side. So we pick up the right heel, grounding through the left heel, and step back. Inhale, and exhale, settle into the pose. So take a look, see if anything's moving out of position. Maybe pull that right hip forward a little bit. And then step the right hip forward, right foot forward, sorry. Shake out the legs, and then we're going to come down to a seat. So we're going to do a nice hip stretch here. So Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So we've done it in one of the previous classes. We want the soles of our feet together, and then we want to try and let our knees, fall out for a nice deep hip stretch. So your position of your feet is entirely up to you. They might be up here, might even want them like here, like this, depends on how tight your own hips are. But if you can get your feet together, you can pull them in a little bit further, that will deepen the stretch on the hips. And then what we want to do is you want to take a big deep breath in, lengthen the spine, pull the crown of the head up, and then we exhale, fold. Lean over our front feet. And then inhale, come up. And then lean over our feet again. Inhale up. And lean forwards. In this last one, you can walk your hands out if that's comfortable for you. You can be staying all the way back up here, it's entirely up to you. We just want to try and find whatever your deepest variation of the pose is, where you're finding that deepest stretch on your hips, but obviously you're not causing yourself any pain. You can just feel that nice stretch, but you can hold it and breathe. And we take another couple of nice deep breaths in this stretch. And then come back up, knees together, and we're going to roll back over onto our backs. So one leg at a time or both, hug the knees in towards the chest, rock side to side. And then a nice reclined twist like we did at the beginning. We're going to stretch our left leg down the mat, keep hold of the right leg, inhale. And we're going to exhale, right knee over towards the left, and we're going to stretch our right arm out towards the right. So like I said before, you can have your block to support your knee if you can't get it all the way down to the floor, or if it's not very comfortable for you where it's just kind of floating around. Wherever the block is, you can have it on any height at all, whatever your level is. Just play around with it, see what feels good. And then if it's comfortable for your lower back and your neck, you can gaze over your right hand to get a full twist all the way through the torso. It's really good for detoxifying the body. And then just inhales and exhales through the nose. Try to consciously relax the body as well. So if your shoulders tightening up or anything like that, notice it with your inhale, and then exhale. Try to release the tension of that muscle. And when you're ready, bring the right knee in, set it down, and then we switch it out. So right leg goes long, left knee comes in. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, left knee over towards the right, bringing your block with you if you need to. Shuffle around, make it comfortable. It's got to feel good. This is one of those really lovely feeling poses, so make sure that it does feel good in your body. It is a treat. This is being able to do this pose. It feels wonderful, so enjoy it, make it work for you. Make sure your clothes aren't pinching or anything like that, and then just settle in. So we inhale. Think, where am I holding tension? Got a little bit of tension in my left shoulder, so I'm going to exhale. Just release it, let it go. And then bring your left knee in towards the chest. Right knee in towards the chest. Squeeze them both in. Rock side to side. Maybe some nice circles. Lower back massage. And then when you're ready, walk your feet out to either corner of the mat. Palms facing up, arms out wide. Let your feet flop open. Release the belly. No holding any sort of core engagement anymore. We're just letting everything go. And then we're going to inhale. Feel the breath move all the way through the torso. Fill everything up. Keep breathing in. And then hold for as long as you can before you slowly, through the nose, exhale. And then let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Thinking about how it feels, how your body feels. And then you can stay in this Shavasana for as long as you like, or you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Walk your feet in towards your body, keeping your eyes closed. Roll yourself onto your side. Take a big, nice, deep breath in. And exhale. And gently blink your eyes open. Come to a seat. Nice, comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Hands at the heart. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.